Expecting some huge multi-plays. Huh. No leaks. No leaks. What's the goal for the season? So we have short-term goals and we have long-term goals. The short-term goal is to be competitive. That means fighting for top 2. That means like if we have like a chance to make the major, aka top 2, that's like the goal accomplished. But that's like the really high goal, right? The more realistic goal is that we need to be a better team than before. We need to look better even if we don't place better. We need to perform better even if we don't place better. And just show that we've actually improved. That's the like short-term goal. Then, you know, stage 2 and forward, the goal is to make every major, which is top 2 in Korea. It's only like really Fierex and Damwon that are like really competitive, at least last season and before. So fighting for top 2 competitively would be dope. We also have a really nice schedule, which is random. We play arguably a lot of the weaker teams first. So we get to like warm up against like the lesser teams, and we play like Fierex and Damwon and stuff like later on in the season. Which is really convenient for us, obviously. With all the changes that's happened and the restructure and such, it's a lot to learn and go over.
1 op 4 remaining.
Woo. We did it! We came back 0-2! The hip fire didn't let me down. Okay, perfect timing. Look at this. Intro, bang! South Korea League. You could not have scripted this better. Incredible. I'm gonna order 4 siege.
South Korea,
So we were in South Korea for
a lot of these rosters, and I'm going early here. We haven't even got to the roster.
the last like 7-8 days. I came back 2 days ago, but we were in Korea from the beginning of March until I think it was from the 4th till the 12th. We were in Korea, something like that. So
it feels like it was just
we're in Korea. We flew, I came up from Brazil. I was here for like in Denmark for like 3 or 4 days, I think, and then I went to Korea, and then came back. Yes, like the day before yesterday, midnight. So like a day and a half ago. And then yeah, we scrimmed yesterday. We did a warm-up scrim this morning on the map that we're gonna be playing. We did map bans like an hour ago, so we did like a couple rounds on the map that we're playing. And then Fabian's gonna talk to the boys, and then we're gonna go. That's the plan.
Maybe I'm just blowing them up a bit of smoke.
That's the plan.
There, Michael, but I think they struggled.
So there's 9 maps in the map pool. Talon had 0 maps strats written down when we joined them. That's obviously changed. It's been a very long bootcamp.
Michael, would you like to answer this?
But we're hopeful. Why not living in Korea? I still have other obligations, right? I have my family, I have my friends, I have my girlfriend, I cast still. So we're working with them remote. Basically, we work with them from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. my time, and then from 12 a.m. till 3 p.m. my time. So it's 8 hours time zone difference. They're 8 hours ahead. So early mornings for us, early afternoons for us, which for them is afternoon and late evening. Like when we finish scrimming at 3 p.m. our time, it's like 11 for them, basically.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when it comes to Korea,
So
highs previously.
how do you communicate with them? So we have JLT, Soldier, Royboy, Misa, and Ryder. Royboy speaks decent English and understands English very well. When I say very well, it's definitely from like a foreigner's perspective, but like we can communicate with them directly. When it comes to the other players, it's a lot of like we use PowerPoint slide presentations for like icons and operators and maps to like showcase like how you move around the map. And we use video examples, and then we have a translator. Dong-uk, the former coach, is now like our manager basically, and he translates for us. So whenever like Fabian explains a concept like how to set up a crossfire, what to do, what not to do, Dong-uk like will sit in English, we'll ask the players if they understand it fully, and if they say no or we feel like they don't, we ask Dong-uk to translate in Korean. So it's like when I was in Japan and do a stage interview, they speak something in like Korean, we get it translated, we say it in English, it gets translated. So there's always like a third step involved, or I guess a second step, the translation part. If Talon qualify for majors, who'll be the coach behind the team? Probably Dong-uk. Odds are that behind the players will be Dongguk because he speaks Korean, not Fabian. Because if you get like 45-second tactical timeout and they don't understand what Fabian's saying exactly, it's a really chaotic situation. So I think Fabian will like tell Dongguk what to say, and then Dongguk will take the tactical timeout and speak in Korean. Korean's also a very efficient language compared to English, so you can say a lot with a lot less and get a lot more across in 45 seconds. But if PSG Talon make a major, I'll be casting, Fabian will be coaching, and Dongguk will be behind the players on stage, most likely. Is Fabian learning Korean? We spoke about us learning a bit of Korean, and then the players are gonna take English lessons. Obviously, it's a lot more beneficial if the players learned English, both because then you can import European and North American players, like long term, like down the line. You have more marketability towards like sponsors and interviews and like, you know, talking to fans. And also, it's easier to communicate with us. So there's like a lot of upsides here if the players would learn English versus us learning Korean. But obviously the goal is to kind of meet in the middle. Like, we'll happily take some Korean lessons, but let's be honest, their alphabet is very different than ours. Like, when I was in Japan, I could navigate the country because everything is also written in like the English alphabet, like Osaka, Kyoto, etc. So I can put it in like Google Maps and stuff. In South Korea, everything's like the boxes, right? Like characters that look like shapes. I don't know what it's called in like proper language, but I cannot do that. So if I need to put in like a street address, I'm fucked. If I need to read a sign, I'm fucked. Like, I cannot navigate South Korea at all. I had to navigate it by memory. Like, I'm gonna walk straight for like 2 streets and then walk right, for example. It's called Hangul. Hangul. Yeah, I didn't know that. So there was a morning when we had like a late scrim at like 11 AM, very late. I was up at 7 AM and I was walking around South Korea and Seoul, and I was like, okay, I'll just like take photos. But I couldn't look up like Google Maps. I couldn't look up navigation, so I had to navigate by like buildings and memorizing which way I've gone, and I got lost at one point. And then I had to like find the main road that I knew that I crossed, and then I could find my way back from there. But it was like one of those like, fuck, I might not come home again. Especially verbally. So these are the boys. These are the boys. And the names are correct. So if you wonder who GLT is, this is actually GLT. Before we met them, we had to figure out who they were. So we called GLT the jaw man, because he has like a nice jawline. Like, it's a lot sharper than this picture, let me tell you. And Soldier we knew from D+. Roy Boy is the guy with glasses. He normally wears glasses, but he also has contact lenses, of course. Misa was like the cute looking guy. He has like a round face. He looks like you can hug and squeeze him. He's also like a really cute guy. And then Ryder's Ryder. That's pretty much how it goes. Ryder also has the best probably fashion sense in the team. He like actually cares about how he looks, I feel like he wears like nice clothing. So I feel like for me it was like how he dressed, but here we're all in jersey, so that doesn't really work. This is the new PSG Talon jersey that came out. Before that, I'm gonna just Google it real quick. We had a different jersey before the PSG collaboration, which looked like this. So it was like black and white with a bit of graphic in the middle. And then now we have the PSG one, which I'm wearing and which the players are wearing as well. So that was the jersey change that occurred. We'll see Deimos in pro play. I can say that Deimos has been played in scrims with PSG Talon in Korea. I'm not gonna say that Deimos is like a Sami, where like expect Deimos every round, but Deimos is kind of like, I would say Deimos is like a Sense or a Capital or like an Amru. Like, for the right bomb site, for the right strat, for the right flexibility, Deimos is pretty good. And especially we had a scenario in scrims not too long ago. I think it was the day before yesterday. Maybe it was yesterday. We had a 2v1 situation on attack. One of our last 2 attackers was Deimos. And when you're 2v1 on attack, Deimos will like spot out the last defender. You're feeling pretty bad if you're that last defender alive. Like, it literally feels impossible to win the round. It's like being lion scanned the entire time. And only Deimos can see you, right? So Deimos definitely has a place in the game. I do think the pistol is kind of awkward. 6 bullets, hard to use, you know? It's not automatic. A lot of players struggle with that kind of playstyle. Same with the MRs. But it is still a bit awkward because Deimos, unlike Jackal, you have weaker weapons. You don't have as many bullets. Not everyone can see where the enemy is, so you gotta communicate very accurately. Like, yo guys, this like Melusi is roaming inside of this room, and you have to like constantly communicate like where he's going, what he's doing, like where he's actually gonna be. And if you have poor communication, Deimos is a big bait because you're gonna be, he's in this room, and then it's like, on your left, but then he was on your right, you know? Because it's like you're looking at different perspectives. Because Deimos has to call from his point of view, not the person he's guiding's point of view. So Deimos in ranked solo queue is probably terrible, whereas Jackal is fucking insane. In comp play, Deimos can be good, but it has a higher skill ceiling and application than Jackal does. So these are the map bans, by the way. I know what we're gonna play, you guys don't yet. We banned Bank, they banned Sky. We banned Cafe, they banned Clubhouse. We banned Consulate, they banned Border. We banned Chalet, they banned Oregon. We're going to Nighthaven Labs as the first map. We start defense. If you know anything about Nighthaven Labs, starting defense is pretty nice. It feels pretty good. Pretty Pokewoggies. If you watch Korea Stage 2, which I didn't myself, and you go back here, Talon banned Nighthaven Lab in this game. Talon banned Nighthaven Lab in this game. Talon banned Nighthaven Lab in this game. So in the knockout stage, Talon banned Nighthaven Lab every single game that they played. We're playing Nighthaven Lab in our debut game in stage 1 of the following year, which is this year. So this should be a surprise, but this is also what the off-season gives you. You know, you can like work on map pool, you can change stuff, you can come out swinging, you can like try and surprise people. And I'm not gonna lie, it was down between what, Oregon, I think it was between Oregon and Nighthaven, and the enemy had to pick it actually. I think first debut game for both rosters on Oregon is like a handshake deal. Hey, this is common neutral ground, we're happy to go to Oregon. But the enemy was like, fuck your Oregon, Nighthaven Lab. And we're like, we know we're going there. So yeah, that's where we're gonna go. Is Nighthaven heavily defender sided? Well, so it's always awkward with statistics, because if you look at the best teams in the world, they might have Chalet as a super attacker sided map. But then in South Korea or in LATAM or maybe 2 specific teams in North America, it's a defender-sided Chalet. It's definitely easier to defend Nighthaven than attacking it. But if you're a really good attack-sided team or you're against a weak defender-sided team, it will be attacker-favored. So it does depend. But yes, we would say Nighthaven Lab, it's a new map. Not every single team has learned it yet. It's still evolving in the meta. Things are changing. Things are up for adjustments. So definitely defender-sided, and if not, then it has potential to be with changes as people figure out the meta. So exciting. Exciting. What made you and Fabian head to Talon? So Fabian and I were looking at opportunities either as players or as coaches. And we almost joined as players for an EUL org, but that kind of fell apart last second. And then we were like memeing that we should coach a team to make them better, because there were so many shit teams at SI. Like, you know, European, North American performances that were like absurdly bad. And it was kind of a joke. And then during the end of SI, Talon reached out to Fabian, and then Fabian dragged me along, and then we ended up joining them. They it was very skeptical at first. It's like, okay, we go to Korea, they don't speak English, like how would that work, what would it look like? And the way that I was sold on it was Duhoon, so like our boss. He said, this is a long-term project. We're thinking 2 to 3 years. I was like, okay. Normally when people come to you, they're like, make our team better in 2 weeks, make us win in 2 months, make us champions in 6 months. And it's super fucking unrealistic. But then Duhoon was like, 2 years, long-term. Aaron playing the long game as well. I think we're starting, boys.
It certainly does, but I tell you what, that might well be the longest.
I was very nervous last night going to bed, and I was very nervous this morning when I woke up.
First matchup of not
Yeah, so whenever like we start playing and we have like some really old strats, I'll show you guys the strats that we have, and show you like how pro teams they make strats, what theory sessions look like. We'll try and do some educational content there. But right now all the strats are like in use, so we cannot leak the strats right now.
Could set the tone. This could set the pace.
I'm assistant coaching with Fabian. Fabian needs some extra help right now because it's a lot to pick up on it immediately. So right now I'm helping out Fabian. But my main role is content creator. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about this. So you guys know on test server, now when you rip a C4, you can see the trajectory. There was a big question about whether or not that will be in pro play. Right now, as far as I know, there's no rules on this. So it is in pro play. But it might get removed. I don't really know what the plan is here. I feel like it's kind of slipped under the radar. But you can see lineups now with impacts, with C4s, with drones. And that's kind of crazy. I feel like, and a lot of players have agreed with this as well when I spoke to them. It should probably not be in pro play. It should definitely be in casual. It should definitely be in unranked. It should maybe be in ranked. It should definitely not be in tournaments. That's the general consensus that people have so far, I would say. It's the same with yellow pings, right? Yellow pings have no place in pro play, but it's great for like more casual oriented players. It's okay in ranked, but it's annoying the higher skill level you go to. Trajectory is very similar. You should, as a professional player, understand the lineups. That is literally your job as a player to understand. And it separates the good from the great, knowing those lineups. Now with the trajectory, you cannot fuck it up, basically. Yeah, basically what Jack said here, Ubisoft kind of just added it and they didn't make a setting for custom games to disable it, as far as I know. So it seems like this was not really made with pro play in mind, which is not the end of the world if they act upon it. I think leaving it in for the first season here is an okay testing phase, but if it gets deemed to be a bad thing, they have to get rid of it for stage 2, in my opinion. But yeah. So I hope they remove it. It's not the end of the world if they don't. We're gonna see more lineups with grenades and C4s and stuff, which is exciting, arguably, but not for the right reasons. I'd rather see a player like, cause if you guys remember, oh, I spoke before. I thought, what's his name? Mav, M-A-V, Mav, like Maverick. Mav, back when he played in like Brazil, like in FaZe and stuff. That guy had some nade lineups on every map that we had never seen before in pro play. He would stand far outside in spawn and throw a nade on like border, and it would fly in the sandwich window to clear out a player, and that counted the spawn peak. Mav would do like one of the people who like pioneered the nade from border roof down through the big open like tower looking thing into the bandit triple wall. Like Mav literally created so many lineups for grenades that had massive impact on potential rounds that we had never seen before. Because he was like creative and he spent probably hours and hours and hours in custom games like figuring it out. Something that I've been doing during the bootcamp with Talon, with PSG Talon, is I went into a custom game and I literally found drone spots on like every map that we play, basically, for like prep phase drones, active round drones, like really good trick drones. And I sat there for like 5 hours straight, basically, and just did like Google, like my Google power slide pictures, like this is how you do this drone, this is like how you get this, etc. And that's just like brute force, raw hours, and creativity. Same thing goes with C4s, but now it's easier, right? So, can I show us some? I'm not gonna show you our drones, no. But I did find a crazy drone on Skyscraper that I have not personally seen in Pro League yet. It might exist, I might have missed it, maybe a player is hiding it, I don't know. But I did find a pretty crazy a drone on Skyscraper. So, it paid off, I would say. The thing is that lineup should be a part of your job to practice as a pro player. You shouldn't hold your hand with changes in Pro League. I agree. I think the argument that some people have is that now we're going to get more exciting lineups. We're going to see more creativity. But again, like, I think it's done for the wrong reasons. I think it should only be a product of players putting in like that work and not just because the game gives it to them. So it depends, like, are you excited about seeing more stuff? Yes, well then it's a good thing that you can see trajectories. But, you know, to each their owns. Did it joined by fish? No, not. 5 hours for a soloist to walk around the corner and find all of them. Sorry, so let's take a look at the operator ban phase before you say that.
Well, it's good.
Let's take a look at the operator ban phase before we speak about soloists finding drones.
When it comes to APAC, that we had to endure a near on 40-minute pre-show.
Obviously, I know the prep work that's gone into this. I spoke with the players. I was in the meeting this morning. I knew that we were gonna ban Maverick, for example.
2024 onwards.
All right, Talon.
Over.
Take the energy from me.
Obviously now Furia, Tidal.
We start defense.
Bend.
They start attack. We've banned the Maverick. They're gonna ban ... Ying. Huge. Ying is the most banned operator in South Korea. Like a 68, I think, % ban rate last stage. So this is like no surprise. Also nowadays every team can play the Ying. Like we see that in North America and Europe. Ying is no longer like Hungary in Europe can only play Ying. You know, like everyone can play Ying these days since they changed the cooking mechanic and whatnot.
Change up all too much. Defense though is where it gets a bit.
Am I stressed for the match? I am stressed for the match, yeah. I woke up with like nervous excitement and I slept kind of bad.
Probably be followed up by the Falcon.
It's like, I don't mind if we get fucking slaughtered. It's okay. But I'll be a little bit sad. But it would be nice to just like, if things click, because there's a solo span by the way, third. So now we can do the drones, right? It would be nice if like the boot camp showed off, if like because like when we scrimmed the first couple days of boot camp, we were getting fucking rolled. Like it was not good. On the end of the boot camp, we were like going even or rolling those same teams that were scrimming in the beginning. Like significant improvement is like round by round. This is Pro League though. I don't know how these players react to pressure, to the nerves, to like the you know, like this is important for them. Like this is, you know, fucking major. Like they gotta win these games, especially like the first couple of games because like easier opponents. Now Fabian's here. Maybe that adds pressure on them because they feel like they need to like perform. Because now like there's a reason to perform. Like they have no excuse to be bad. I don't know. So this first Pro League game is a very big learning lesson on the mental side of things and seeing how the players will do and perform. Obviously I'm gonna try and talk in as neutral topics as possible because I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, this makes sense because we practiced this. It's more like when Maverick is banned, playing wall deny makes a lot of sense, right? That's pretty logical. Maverick is the counter to Tuberao. Maverick is the counter to Kite, basically. So by banning Maverick, you play into wall deny instead a little bit more. This is pretty common stuff, but that's the game plan for this first round. Also, my Twitch keeps bugging. I don't know why. I can't alt tab and I can't change the audio. I want to hear. I want to hear something. I can do it here though. I fix this. Boom, 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 boom. Fixed.
Mentioned though, PSG Talon are starting out on defense.
Nervous for a game during my Pro League games? I wouldn't say nervous. I was very excited to play Pro League when I was a player. Normally when there's like I'll be nervous maybe in the morning, but then when the game starts, it's just like game time, you know? It's like everything leaves your head, everything leaves your body. You live on this fucking 24-inch monitor and you reach like ultimate zen focus. Sounds super cheesy, but like there is this thing called the zone, which is a very elevated state of focus. And if you reach the zone as a player, basically when the game finishes, it's a big blackout. Like you literally cannot remember the game that you played because it's so like.
To be fair, you gotta get into a good angle to shoot them out. So it all
So they drone, they find it, we bandit trick, Tuberao.
where to shoot them, you gotta walk through the doorway. If that's the case, then
Tuberao's change does make tracking a little bit more complicated. There are ways to circumvent it, but
get used along
this should be okay. I don't believe the semi will go off, but it depends on timing.
common tactic since Tuberau's in
Music gets the opening kill, they go in catwalk, so the caps are fire, they take it, we win 2 gunfights, 3 gunfights. It's a blender, it's a fender blender.
But that counter aggression, middle portion of the round, it's like a
So BHG tried to brute force it, right? They couldn't get the wall, they didn't want to problem solve it, they go in garage window with utility, but we have crossfires everywhere.
calling them Talon at this point, 'cause it's BSG and
This is a 7-0, they're honking, dude, we're so winning 7-0 now. Let's see if we troll. We're really good at losing when we have advantages, by the way. We like to have fun in this team. And that's very important. Fun is an important thing in life. But when you're 5 versus 2 and you're playing your first Pro League game, it's not about having fun. No fun will be had. Trade comes out successfully. Soldier gets 2. Look at this crossfire as well. It's actually not bad. Not bad
Big
at all.
start for this
This is good. Yee fucking hawa. Yeah, dude. Let's get the geisha goose and the yeehaws. There is a let me see. So when we were workshopping our hashtag earlier, let me find the examples that we had. One of them was a yeehaw like a cowboy. Management did not like it, but we loved it. We thought it was great.
So I guess we're gonna probably see.
Trying to look for it.
Certain locations where maybe previously the army was really good.
Dude, there's so much text in this group chat. Oh boy. Like announcements and shit strats.
Very dependent from position to position.
Nice.
Thank you, assembly now.
Where is it?
Talon. And no real surprises again with their
Media.
lineups. I very much expect this army to.
Man, I can't find it. I can't find the workshop hashtags. But then one of them was like Fabian wrote. It's like yeehaw, like a goddamn cowboy, and it's like Korean for something. Not sure exactly what.
Somehow managed to miss the 40-minute pre-show. Soldier coming back to this particular squad after being
Is the language barrier an issue in communication? I wouldn't say it's an issue, but it's an obstacle. It's an obstacle. But so, you know, like, if we sit down in a cafe and I talk to you about my life, that's like English, and it's kind of difficult if you're like a foreigner. If we sit down in a cafe and I speak siege to you in English, you're speaking siege terms. Like, they call like kitchen, like they will have English callouts despite speaking Korean at certain points in time. And, you know, if I say one kitchen, like one hallway, they get that. But if I sit down and say, oh, I played ballerina as a kid and I loved walking in hallways, they'll be like, huh? Why is that a thing? So we can talk siege with them, but it's hard to talk like one-on-one personal stuff. Like, we're having team dinner, and usually it's like we can speak to Roy, we can speak to Donguk, the manager, and then Fabian and I can talk together. Soldier is pretty good. Like he's like not super shy. He'll like happily fuck up in English and laugh about it. We went bowling one day after a day of practice, and we were just all like laughing and like memeing, right? Like, you know, they have broken English. So let's say they miss, like we're playing bowling, they miss all the pins. We go trolling, you know? And they go, ha ha ha, trolling. So we try and create some good vibes. I think we're getting caught off guard here. We have no idea they're in. Ryder getting caught off in the Asami on the roam. We trade back Misa elsewhere onto the Dokkaebi. Very big pick here. Because they kill Ryder on the roam, Dokkaebi can hack the cameras and gain like a lot of valuable intel with Valkyrie being open and whatnot and bulletproof camera. The fact that Dokkaebi's dead now denies that. So now Ryder dying, not the end of the world. That C4 popped 1 second earlier, might have gotten a kill, but Misa might have also died to the explosion, so gotta play it safe. Ram covered the sound. Yeah, but it's more like presence, right? Like, sound is not as big of a deal in pro play as it is like in ranked, because you have like a network of like where things are happening. So while the Ram covers the sound, it's about reading the pace of the round. The enemies, they should be in this area. The enemies, they should be coming from this position because they killed the default cam. Sure, sound matters when sneaking around, but it's about understanding the pace. For example, Soldier almost overstayed his welcome. Misa almost overstayed his welcome. Misa fell back at the final second he could. We saw the outlines. 2 attackers are coming for him. Had he stayed for 2 seconds longer, he'd be dead. Had he left 5 seconds earlier, he would definitely be alive. But you're always playing that fine middle ground of staying long enough to burn as much time as possible, but not overstaying your welcome. 20 seconds left. They're doing the final bit of vertical play. We got a mirror window facing Rumatic here, locking him out. Dochi, the Ash above, has to deny the mirror window. Doesn't do so. There we go. Rumatic gets it. Misa's in a great corner. Little bit of trigger discipline. Finds 2 picks. 2 seconds left. No diffuser. Might win on time. Beautiful, Misa. The trigger discipline, buying literally like a second and a half, might have been the difference maker on the rundown. We're honking, boys. Ye fucking ha. This is a great start. This is defense though. This is the easy point of the game. The real challenge is attack, but if we go 6-0 up, attacks might not matter. Okay, that's the ace up the sleeve here. It came down to Oregon, Nighthaven Lab. Enemy picks the map, we choose starting side. We get defense Oregon if we want it. We get Nighthaven Lab defense if we want it, and we can build up those round counts. I always say when I cast, and this is like from being a former player, I think starting defense, especially in like the first games of a tournament, in front of a crowd, maybe first game of a season, maybe first time playing Night Haven like in pro play. Starting defense is wonderful because you just do what we've been practicing on paper. Like you reinforce this wall, put down this gadget, and you do like in practice. Like the enemy makes a move, you react to it. So starting defense is very comfortable. When you play attack, however, you need to problem solve. You gotta drone, you gotta get into, you gotta make decisions, you gotta problem solve, you gotta get into, you gotta have confidence, you gotta go for kills, you gotta go for map control. It's so fucking hard. So starting defense is such a like best case scenario essentially in like your first game, especially on Night Haven map. Because attack in this map is very, very difficult, especially if you're not experienced on this map. Especially then. I'm just coaching the Talon game, then I'll be playing ranked afterwards. We got our rank stack with Leon Gitz from Fnatic and some of the UK guys. I was gonna say, if Fresh wants to co-stream this or hang out together, we can make a weekly appearance with different people and share the love of PSG Talon. This C4 could be great. Oh, Soldier, yes. The post punish onto Lion, a global gadget off the board is gonna not allow the blitz as much now. No, there could be no Lion. So blitz is just like a blitz now. Like there's no real support here besides guns behind him. We can do it next week. Let's do it next week, Jaggy boy. My co-streaming EUL depends. I don't know what day or what time EUL is. I'm casting Brazil, I'm casting North America. If I can co-stream EUL, I will or I might. Some games maybe. But I don't know what the schedule looks like for me on those days. I actually have no idea. Monday, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. I think I can do that actually. Checking. Monday, Tuesday? Yeah, I should be able to do it. Tuesdays I have some plans, but only in the later evening. Oh, great trade there. They're in. They're not stable to plant though, and the fuses dropped on the ground. It's cold. I think there's one above, two guys side. So we've given them side here basically, right? We're not really fighting for side control. We're fighting garage, we're fighting top floor, we're fighting like externally on the first floor. We got post in the basement, so we're playing all three floors right now. Post no C4 though, did use it earlier. So that could be a punishment for us. Roy Boy and JLT both have a C4, but they're not really like, you know, post below. They're not like in that position. It is still worth to kill the bulletproof camera because it still gives sound, by the way. When you punch it, you can't see, but you can hear pretty well.
His debut match in a 1 versus 3 with 40 seconds remaining. Shoots out default. Swing. Shot at. A little bit of information. Can he find a way to get some 1 versus 1s? Will be tricky.
So now we gotta just not give the 1v1s. We have bird control. We have diffuser case, visually speaking. I think it's Roy Boy above on the warden. The second Doji walks in, she just die. Yep, there it is.
It's going to be near impossible. It's 3 straight.
It's 3-0. It's 3-0.
The pace in this
might be a season late, but what's my opinion on losing the ability to cook grenades? I think it's an amazing change because there's no worse death in the Pro League history than to die to a nade from below the floor and you have no indicator that you're gonna die to it. There's no red ping because like you can just guess, or yellow pings. You can't fight back, you can't ADS it, you can't do anything. You can play a rogue and get injured, but then you die to the second nade, right? So I'm very happy as an anchor player that nade's cooking is gone. But it has created a more defender-oriented meta that's hard to deal with utility, which is to be addressed, right? They're nerfing Asami now this season. They're making changes like Solus and Fenrir in the future. So hopefully after this year is over, it'll be like a better balance between attack and defense. Whereas the nade change plus 2 Baral come out the same patch kind of broke defense a bit and made it very hard to attack. See. They implemented the strats nicely. So far we're happy. I mean, round 2 was very close. Misa won on time in a 1v2. Round 3 was solid. Round 1 was great. Like round 1 the enemy couldn't problem solve. This is a reiteration of the first round, right? Where Tuberu, mute, bandit. Last time we played Kite instead of mute, denying the wall. Enemy has to problem solve either vertically or, oh my god, nade from below up to the beams. Misa has to make a risk calculation here. Does he go for the trick or does he just give up the wall? Even if the wall gets opened here, we have wasted so much time, 2 nades, vertical, etc. And we realize again, danger.
This one's been a little bit
He will read
sloppy
it.
from the
Misa,
attack.
if he goes to the trick, he will probably die.
Said,
Giving up the wall now with a minute burned and like all that utility is fine. We even get a kill elsewhere.
it has taken though.
Last super hour came out.
Stalled out. No pressure now below. There's a bit of a disconnect here from this attack at the moment, and Misa I think is now placed down.
Fall back, reinforce off the wall.
So PSG have completely.
They spend all their nades. They have one secondary MP in pocket of Vamos. Wait, this guy's name is Vamos. Vamos.
Can't quite tell. No, it is.
No,
open.
it's open up.
So wall is open, but they don't really gain a whole lot from this, right? On the attacking side. Now they go connector, they rotate over, you do the split take. This is like a very standard attack.
Dealt with. It was just that
Which is why we fell back, reinforced the wall as in the response.
but, of course, once that
We
expires,
still have Bandit available, but no Bandit batteries in pockets, so we cannot trick this.
a minute
We have no
15 so
impacts
far,
either,
it's
so this wall will get open up sadly. So here we could argue like strategical gap on our side. There should either be a Bandit battery, a mute jammer on this wall, or impacts to deny it. C4 pre-placed below for the Thermite charge, because we know they're just forcing the Thermite. They play another heartbeat, right? Ace is dead. So there were ways to problem solve this round in particular, for example. But instead, Soldier C4 gets a kill to Vamos. That is not very Vamos of him. Ryder swings out, looks like a troll play, but we push through the breach with 2 people at the same time. So maybe just one. So Misa swung this breach, 2 guys swung electric, IT, and we collapsed upon the guy in connector. That's really good teamwork. That's the kind of stuff that we didn't see from South Korea or Talon before, where maybe a guy would push the breach without the guys pushing connector, or IT or whatever. And then like you just have a guy die for free. Now it's a trade, one guy gets injured, we get a kill, we get map control, and the last guy's IQ who's like super locked out. Now it's about discipline, and we troll, but it's fine.
Make the entry back into
A little bit of a swing.
Nothing start for PSG Talon.
Ye fucking ha. Yai vibe. What are you saying, Fabian? Hit the gritty, dap some for the stream, Pengu PSG. Fabian is like the embodiment of a Twitch chatter who loves Fortnite. He's like, dap, dap.
Yeah, I mean, again, the real challenge.
Vamos. I love that, dude. The J Vamos.
That's where they really
Gasped her.
make a name for themselves, but it is a
Ye
positive
fucking
start.
ha.
And the fact that PSG almost every round so far has been
Oh,
taking
Fabian's good, dude. Fabian's been learning the Korean. He loves it.
good structural defense.
He's a big fan.
As opposed to what we quite often see in South Korea, which is they just have so much pressure on them. So
Now, the best case scenario, as I said, we go 6-0 defense. Enemies more or less crushed. We win 7-0. We don't show any of our attacks.
camping over the last couple
Happy
of
days.
and it
We've
is,
only shown
I think,
defenses, right?
highlighting
That's like best case scenario.
between probably the bottom,
If it starts falling apart in attack,
5
we
teams,
gotta see how the players deal with that.
potentially, with
Sense of
PSG
confidence as
still
well.
struggling with some of the fundamental things like the IT wall clear.
PSG are plotting their W7M arc. Dude, they're just waiting for the right moment to make the comeback begin.
Again,
It's just like the face game. It's more exciting. The storyline is better told if it is a ridiculous outcome.
Certainly concerning signs on the attack here for PSG.
I mean, this is also the issue as well. When you kind of look at the last time these teams met, it was a very different PSG roster. Obviously,
Also, PSG, they've had 3 roster changes, I believe, from last stage to this one. So they are basically a new team. We don't know how they're gonna play. We don't know what to expect from them. They could be as good as Fearix. They could be as bad as Talon last stage. I have no idea.
Sorry, Soldier.
There has been like one very close round, but the 3 other ones are pretty solid from us.
These teams weren't that far apart previously.
The player I like watching the most in PSG. I like watching, I think Roy the most. Like Roy plays very similar to like how I play, like anchor. He plays like secondary support, usually like on attack at times, holding angles and stuff. So I like Roy because he plays the game that I understand, whereas like me, pretty much everyone else, you know, like they can go for crazy swings, you know, they can go for plays. I'm like, that's not who I was as a player. Like I like Shinga as well from Wolves for the same reason. Because like Shinga also like plays that same kind of style. It's like a style that makes sense to me, and I like to look at how they play it, and then I think about how I would do it differently, or if I would do it like worse or better. And then like I watch Shaiko play, I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I wouldn't have won that gunfight. I wouldn't have swung it like that. I would have died. You know, like watching Shaiko, I'm like, yeah, I can't relate to this. So I like watching players that I feel like I can relate to when I watch.
All they can really do is just go back down to site. 4-man stack. They lost Ryder. They lost the battle.
Because it's like logical approach, right? How does the coaching system work? Is Fabian currently coaching? Fabian is currently coaching, yeah. We had a meeting before this, talking like map ban veto, talking strategic approach, operator bans, etc. Once this game ends, Fabian will do a debrief with the team, being like, guys, you guys suck, you guys are great. Great job, everybody. XYZ, this was good, this was bad. And then obviously Fabian is there every day for scrims. They scrim twice a week, most days of the week. So Fabian's there like, today we try this. We make strats in Google PowerPoint. We go over like theory. Because like when it came to PSG Talon, you know, they're decent mechanical players. They're not like amazing. Like Japan is a bit ahead here, like mechanically speaking. But where South Korea really falls short is their understanding of the game. The timings, the reading of situations, strategically as well, not having strats on paper. So that was a big focus point for us. Misa is finding gap after gap with the read here. There's a guy above still. Misa could get flanked. Oh, good. 2v2. Misa got found. 20 seconds. We know one is above. We can assume one is either downstairs or above as well. Marine pushes aggressively, but the cross is there from JLT. And now we know the last guy was above. Buck killed Misa earlier. The skeleton key gives it away. Crossfire maybe here on the door? Maybe? Yes. Huge. That solidifies the 5-0 lead. Ye fucking har. So a lot of this is about theory. Win conditions, like understanding like what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, you know? Like the same with like, let's say we play ranked with the rank stack and we're playing bank basement. We had like 4 C4s, we got echo, we got so much plant deny, right? Like to deny the planter. But then 3 people run up main stairs and they fight like IQ and they die. It's like if our win condition is to plant deny with C4s and like we still have that available, we don't need to fucking rush main stairs, right? That's kind of how it is working with PSG Talon. It's about making them understand the whens and the whys, because they wouldn't really do things that made sense before a lot of the time. And that's often what happens from teams that are worse than, like worse regions or worse teams. So just like theory. It's worse, he's Finnish. Oh dude. Calling a Swedish person Danish is bad, but calling anybody Finnish is worse. Finnish is like a made-up country and a made-up language.
A little bit actually about this PSG squad, and he mentioned that he's a bit of a rank star. He's had some amateur comp appearances for a team called Arosa, so he has a little bit of experience. But to come in 5 kills, top fragging for the team, relatively impressive. We saw as well the entry capabilities from Dochi in the last round was also quite good. So there are a couple of good signs for PSG, but as is quite evident, and I don't think we really need to reiterate it too many times, but they are being outclassed by PSG that has more experience, and for the most part, now the expectation, better structure and guidance as well.
Yeah, but it's the experience of Crazy Boy and Vamos that's struggling. 0-5, 1-5. Now it's all role dependent.
More pulse action, more intel, more verticality.
Haven't quite been able to get the frags going on the
As a Finn, you can confirm I do not exist. No, you don't. Finnish people are like the first city of AI. You know, Elon Musk has been built in that area of the world with the chip in their brains from birth.
Probably not up to them necessarily.
The F in Finnish stands for failure, because they were a failed species of AI, but now they live on as if nothing happened. Alright, Misa, how do you play this? How do you play this, Misa? Do you have to read? Oh, he's clueless. I think he's right side. But he's left! Oh! Gotta check your headphones, mate. Are they on in reverse? He definitely was not on your right hand side. Misa was stuck in a corner, but gets out. Also, Ruma had a grenade left, so he could have just naded it if he knew he was left side, and Misa would be definitely fucked. The crossfire again. Catwalk is a suicide blender, basically. So hard to enter through it. It looks like a 6-0 is possible here, boys. It might be a 6-0 start. Might just be. Now Ryder's low, so now we have a big lead, like 4v2. Now I gotta solidify the position, set up the crossfires. Roy is playing top aqua with a shotgun. It's a very strong position, but if he dies solo, which he doesn't, it is the beginning of a throw, basically, right? When you have 3 teammates elsewhere.
That range will always win out. PSG Talon now only about 45 seconds or so.
I mean, surely this is it.
Yeah, and then in this
Surely.
instance, 4 versus
It's
1,
the 6-0.
difficult for Vamos.
We got Vamos!
Much as you want to probably
Korean
give it a
player,
Still 2-0
Spanish name, not living up to his name's meaning. There's not a whole lot of let's go in these rounds for PSG, but there is for us. Look at that, the double swing. Again, communication. Soldiers jiggling this, saying, hey, swing, 3, 2, 1. He swings it here. Another guy swung upstairs. Small things. Very, very, very small things. Ye fucking ha, boys. We gotta make the ye fucking ha real thing. Let's go in Spanish. More like let's be slow. Hey, let's lose every opening duel. Alright, $5, Fabian. Will it be a 7-0 first attack clean sweep for the season? Or is this where PSG, they plot their W7M comeback? They're playing Clash. We should report them. This is not only super unfun to watch and play against, it's also really lame. You cannot go 2 and 5 and then go Clash. It's not fair. We lose 0-6 attack. We go overtime. Okay. We gotta win in overtime.
Still say that that's a great performance, irrespective of the opposition's skill level. And again, if
Crazy Boy about to drop 30k, making it overtime. Crazy Boy is currently not so crazy. He's 0-6, but maybe he's a defense player. Very possible. So how do they play this? They got rotate connector, pre-placed jammer, fallback, reinforce the wall. Classic stuff here. We didn't have a jammer there when we played this bomb site. They're playing Melusi because Fenrir is banned. Makes sense, right? Kind of like supplement like the operator gadgets for like cover. So it's very similar to us, but we played like Bandit instead of the Clash, basically. Very similar setup otherwise.
Yeah, the other thing as well is we don't know how good Beyond Shadow's game.
There's no draws anymore. No, there hasn't been draws for a while, thankfully. Thank fucking God. Drawing is like everybody loses, nobody wins. Quick 7-0? I don't know, man. When I see... So I think the Clash pick here is genius. I think it's really... Like, it slows down the attack. It makes it hard to, like, gain map control. It's hard to push the bomb side. It's hard to kill because you can't cook grenades. Capital is not in play for us this round. Like, we can't actually deal with the Clash. We had Sophia stunts on Ryder, that's it. So we don't really have a lot of options here. So I generally think that the Clash here is just gonna be fucking annoying.
This is really clean from PSG Talon, but like you said,
oh, they messed it up. Wall gets open. Small mistake there from Vamos. Vamos. How good was his team before you guys got involved? They were... Oh, Roy boy, no. Okay. The Clash is low. If Ryder reads this, here it comes. Here it comes. Sophia soft breach. Come on. Poop, poop, and then it's over. Not yet. Oh, here comes. Here comes. What's the Clash health? Ah, it's gone. Ryder keeps teasing it. So this team, they made one major, Atlanta, and I think they got third before that. So it's been close. Oh, he missed the second one. So Clash is 1 HP. So guy bottom Garrett's here. The Roy has a kill. There it is. Roy wins the gunfight. Roy is kind of like a fragmite, by the way. You might be able to tell that right now. Roy, he will breach the wall. He'll stay alive. He'll do his duty, and then he becomes a fucking entry. And he will run in. He'll get 3 kills, and then we'll win the round flawlessly. It's a 7-0, 6-0 defensive half, first round attack flawless against the Clash 2 Barao. Is this a South Korean team or what, dude? You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. We're in Brazil now, baby. We gotta learn Portuguese. Huge start. Huge start. Misa with 11 kills. Found so many fucking gaps everywhere across the board. Massive, dude. Fucking massive. It's a 7-0, Tom J. There it is. That is the best start we could have ever hoped for. Obviously, so our schedule is actually pretty nice. We play all the weaker teams first, pretty much. We play Therex and Damwon, I think second and third last or something like that in the season. So we get to kind of warm up against the teams that are weaker, presumably weaker. So we won, you're Ray. Let's go, Ray. We did win. So a really good fucking start. I think honestly, besides maybe like 2 minor details, I don't think there are a lot of gaps there. I don't think there are a lot of weaknesses. That also comes down to like BSG unable to like answer to that, BSG unable to capitalize on that. And again, starting not having lap defense is just phenomenal start, right? Maverick span, attack is fucking miserable. It's hard to problem solve. But that's huge. Maniac picked the other team. Hey, someone's gotta do it, man. You can't all predict the same team to win. I respect it for the storyline. Imagine we lost you at 7-0. Then Maniac would have looked like a genius guy, you know? That's how it goes. That is how it goes. Thank you, 2T's FPS. Great first game. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Yep. Best start we could have hoped for. The only thing that I would have liked to be differently is on one of the top floor defenses, we could have had like a cover for the wall in connector. Like we fell back, reinforced it. We had no bandit batteries left because they were shot by the IQ earlier, and we had no impacts. We had no like deny for the wall. But they opened the wall and then we retook it instead by fighting. So like even the one round where it's like, fuck, what could we do better? We actually had a great response to the solution.